so I started investing my money when everybody I knew was just buying all the brand name stuff. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. So that was what the majority mindset and minority mindset was all about internally. And then this class that I created, that was my first expression of the minority mindset by creating something, a brand, as a way to educate this idea of thinking differently than the majority of people. Then that started to evolve into social media. People were like, hey, this is really cool. Can you create an Instagram page? I created an Instagram page under the alias Minority Mindset, just talking about the same stuff, things that I wish that I knew when I was getting started. And then people said, this is so cool. Could you please create a blog? And I was like, well, English is my second language. You don't want to read a blog that I write because it's not going to make any sense, but I can talk. So I went on to YouTube and I started the Minority Mindset YouTube channel. And that's when I got into, the acting school, the film classes, just to learn how to present. And then now Minority Mindset is, over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and we've grown into something a whole lot bigger. So it's funny. It started off kind of as an accident because I got screwed over, but that mindset is what really started the whole thing, was just that the idea of thinking differently than the majority of people.
And you have fans now. You have people who recognize you. You have a culture within this brand that you've created over the years because you've been consistent, but with this approach and with these ideals and these values that go along with it. I mean, I catch myself on video sometimes saying, down in the description below. And I'll be like, no, I can't do that because that's Jaspreet's thing. Like, I don't know. You just built this culture. I want to go back to when you started the YouTube channel. What was your plan with it? Did you ever imagine getting it to this big business now that you've been able to create and this following, or what was your approach?
No, not at all. Not at all. I remember when I started it, I was like, man, if I ever hit 100,000 subscribers on this, like, oh my God, like that's it. Like that would be amazing. Like I hit jackpot with it. And you got to put this in perspective. This is like 2016 I really started, and there was no educational content, like no financial education content on YouTube then. And to think that 100,000 weirdos, Minority Mindset fans, would be interested in finance, it's just impossible. Like, how many people really care about finance? I was the only person that I knew that cared about it. So to think that 100,000 people would subscribe and join it, no. And I remember this. I had a talk with a friend of mine and my brother, and I was like, if I ever hit 1 million subscribers, I'm just shutting the channel down. Like, this is not possible. Like that was how I never thought that it was going to happen. And now here we are, over 1 million subscribers. And I'm like, I'm always talking about thinking bigger. And yet here I was with these own limiting beliefs on myself, which just shows you, like, if you think you're thinking big, you're not thinking big enough. There's just opportunities are endless. And I never thought that Minority Mindset would ever grow into its own, like, business, because for me, this was just a hobby. I was running my stock company. I was doing real estate. I was doing a lot of other things. And I was just doing this because it was a way for me to talk about the things that were important to me in a way that, I could just put it out there, because I would talk to my friends about it, and I know they would get annoyed and they would get bored talking about the same thing all the time. Right. So I stopped doing that and I started talking about it on YouTube. And when I started, it's kind of funny because I didn't even know that I could make money through the videos that I was making. A buddy of mine came to me and he was like, hey, Jaspreet, how much money are you making off of YouTube? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, through your advertisements on YouTube. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, didn't you turn advertisements on? I'm like, again, what are you talking about? So he goes into the YouTube backend with me, and he's like, dude, you don't even turn on monetization on your ads. Just turn your ads on and you can start making a little bit of money through your videos. And I was like, wow. That's how, for me, it was just a hobby when I started. And now Minority Mindset has grown into something so much more. But it was like, I never expected that.
With the channel, when did you know that it was like you had something here, right? Nobody knows how it's going to be at the start.
Yeah.
At what point were you like, whoa, this is like, I'm going to go even more into this now?
Yeah, I think it was right around 100,000 subscribers. So I was working.
How long did that take?
Oh, a year and some change. So a little bit less than a year and a half. It took me it might have been a year and a half actually. Because it took me a year and a couple months to
Oh,
hit 30,000 subscribers. And 2 months after hitting 30,000 subscribers, we hit 100 because one of the videos that went viral. This is one of those things where it just takes one video. It takes one
yep.
piece of content to really take off. And that's what happened to me. Like for the first year, and let's say 2 or 3 months, I was grinding and, under 30,000 subscribers to get there. And then just one video took off and then took us to 100. And when I hit 100, it was a very unique time because a couple things happened. Um, I was working on the sock company like I was telling you about, and there was a technology behind it. And my goal was never really to build a sock company. My goal was, it had a technology behind it, a water resistant technology that my goal was to license.
Hmm.
So the sock company was more of a proof of concept, which I could then use as leverage to take to some of the bigger athletic companies and say, hey, license this technology from us. Well, right around the time I hit 100,000 subscribers, our patent got denied. They said it wasn't original enough, it wasn't unique enough. And so I was like, okay, what do I do here? Either I can continue building the sock company, which was fine. It was making good money. It was profitable. It was fun, but I wasn't passionate about socks. For me, it was I liked the idea of building a buzz business, but that sock passion wasn't there. Minority Mindset, on the other hand, wasn't really making that much money. I mean, it was making a little bit of money now that we had 100,000 subscribers, but it wasn't like a ton of money. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it exactly, but my passion for Minority Mindset was like through the roof. Like this is like, if I could do anything like this, I would just do this. And that's why I was doing it, because I started it just for fun. So I was like, well, this might be like a blessing in disguise, because maybe I can just do Minority Mindset and try to figure out how I can turn this into something bigger and just focus on providing the best education and the best value to our viewers and our subscribers. So I decided to do that. And so that was around 100,000 subscribers. And that's when I started focusing just on the content. And our content started to grow, started providing value, because one of our core values here at the Minority Mindset Company is always lead with value. You'll notice that we don't really hard sell anything just because it's not us. If you want to buy something, hey, go ahead, but you're not required to purchase anything. My goal is here to provide you with the best education, the best value possible. That way, you're gonna walk away saying, "Wow, that was awesome. I want to come back and watch more." So that was always been our core focus at Minority Mindset, is providing the value. And then at around 500,000 subscribers, that's when I realized, like, okay, there's a lot more that we can do than just making YouTube videos. So around 500,000 or 600,000 subscribers was when I realized that I could turn this into a real business.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this shorter clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And if you're interested in learning more about how to invest your money in the stock market, our team put together an amazing guide that will walk you through how to invest your money in the stock market, what the stock market is, different stock market strategies, and how to build wealth in the stock market. This guide is completely free when you sign up for our daily newsletter. So if you want to read this guide, all you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.